Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to another Discord Showcase AMA. My name is Zonzi. Today we have some special guests coming in from the Ichi Foundation. How are you guys doing today?
Hey, Zanzi, doing great. Super happy to be here. I'm excited to talk to the Polygon community and team a little bit about what we're doing, what we're bringing to Polygon.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited for you guys to be here as well. I was doing some research into your protocol. It looked really cool and innovative. But before we get into that, I always like to kick it off with doing some introductions. So why don't we jump into who you are, your background, what you were doing before crypto, and what brought you all the way to being a part of the Ichi Foundation.
Yeah, sure. I guess we'll probably just intro ourselves one by one. So I know we also have Ben and Steve from the team here. So I guess I'll go first. I'm Daniel. I've been working full time in crypto and at the Ichi Foundation for about a year and a half. Before that, I was doing some blockchain research. I got into blockchain and Bitcoin in 2016. Really interested in kind of making a little bit of money, to be honest, and then learned a little more about the tech and how innovative it was, and kind of hopped into learning more, researching how to scale the Bitcoin blockchain, and that kind of down got me down the rabbit hole into working in blockchain. Worked as a product manager out at IBM for their Hyperledger Fabric project, which was a permissionless private chain, and realized that that wasn't where blockchain and the blockchain ethos was really prominent. I thought permissionless uh, ecosystems and blockchains was where it's at, and kind of got me to hop into the crypto space full time and work on that. So that's how I got to Ichi and crypto, and um, been loving it ever since. It's the Wild West, and it's awesome.
Sweet. That's exciting. Thank you, Daniel. Do you want to introduce yourself, Ben or Stevo?
Yeah, I'll jump in here. One thing, thanks for having us. Really excited to be here and just talk about what we're up to and learn more from the community here. Um, so myself, I've been with Ichi for about a year now. Before that, I was working as an engineer and started a marketing agency. So I do a little bit of marketing, a little bit of process engineering, and was also interested in crypto just because of the cool infrastructure that's being built and just all of the ways you can, make money, you can invest, you can really see Web3 coming forward just in the world. Uh, with that, I'll give it up to Steve if he's here.
I just granted Steve permissions to chat after he joined the channel, so he probably has to just disconnect and rejoin real quick.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that's fantastic though. I actually have a background in marketing as well. It's what I studied in college, so can relate there. Um, all right,
Hey,
Stevo.
hey, sorry for the delay. So I'm Steve. I work with the Ichi team. A while ago, a couple months ago, my role in this has been leading actually a lot of our initial development on Polygon. Now I'm in the big part of our Ichi community on the ambassador side. My background in crypto has really been in the day trading space about a year ago, and then switched to DeFi. And I just to kind of echo what Daniel said, just been loving the DeFi space. And really just a lot of my background is technical product management, design. So it's been really cool to kind of shift out of the traditional software world and shift a lot of focus into crypto and DeFi, and Polygon's been really fun to develop on, as you guys can see, and as we'll discuss today.
Sweet. That's exciting to hear. It's great to meet all of you. So what I want to jump into right away is when I was looking into the Ichi Foundation and your protocol, I'd never seen anything like it before. it struck me as a really innovative and original concept. So I'm really curious, what inspired the creation of it? Like, how did you come up with the idea for the Ichi Foundation?
Yeah, great question. Um, to be honest, like all our products at Ichi were created because of a need we had or a problem or issue we saw. Um, you know, since creating kind of this DAO, right? And at its core, Ichi is a decentralized autonomous organization, and the Ichi token is its governance token. But what we realized was we were trying to build, a DAO and work with the tokens we had created, build out a community of, users, ambassadors, etc. And all of our different products were kind of brought up because of issues and problems that we faced. Issues with creating healthy liquidity that doesn't sell your token out on the open market and hurt your project, as well as creating treasury management for DAOs and stable assets that also don't hurt your project because they lead to having to sell your project token in order um, to get them. So that's kind of where it started. I don't know if maybe Ben or Steve want to add to that.
Yeah, I'll jump in and just say that, we saw the need in the market for more community control and more people just having control over their money. And we want to really just provide the resources and tools for other crypto projects to be able to have a better liquidity system and better access to stable coins. So you get all of the benefits of DeFi while still having control over your own community's currency.
Right. Yeah. That's a really good ethos to have. So one of the things you guys talked about is protocol owned liquidity, and I'm wondering how protocol liquidity with you guys is different from Olympus DAO protocol owned liquidity or something like Olympus DAO fork. It might seem like a bit of a silly question, but I'm wondering if you could explain a bit of how the branded dollar system works as well.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I think Olympus kind of coined the term protocol owned liquidity. So I think when we get that question a lot, just because people hear protocol and liquidity, the first thing they think of is Olympus or one of its forks. So um, the protocol owned liquidity is actually uh, used or actually able to be created through the usage of two of our main products, right? The first is our branded dollar, which was the product that we had originally come out with. But the main thing that's really enabling it is what we call our Angel Vault. Um, so our branded dollar, I'll hop into the branded dollars, explain the Angel Vault, and then kind of explain how that comes together into protocol of liquidity. So our branded dollars, again, like we said, we wanted to enable different projects, protocols, teams to be able to have their token and not sell it on the open market when providing it to different users, when running all kinds of business transactions. So what would usually happen? These projects, these DAOs, create some kind of product, create value for their token, whether it's for governance or whatever the use case of that token is. And they tend to use that token and its value and its price to pay out new ambassadors, new community members, and encourage people to use their products. The issue with that is when providing these things through farming or grants or whatever it is, these users who obtain these tokens, whether they do or don't care about the project, right? If they don't care about the project, they're going to go sell that on the open market. If they do care about the project and believe in it and want to long it, they'll likely hold or hodl. So, but what tends to happen is, a lot of these tokens, you can't use them in your daily life to pay for anything, or to maintain a steady value. So what we created was this branded dollar that is used to, create a stable asset, holds a dollar peg, and is minted through a mixture of fiat-backed stable assets like USDC and a bit of a community's native token. What this does is it actually makes people have to buy the community token out on the open market and lock it into this treasury contract in order to mint a branded dollar that stays stable and is used to transact or even exchange for USDC without hurting the actual token price. So that's a quick on our branded dollar. The second and kind of pretty recent innovative tool and product we created was an Angel Vault. And Angel Vaults are basically Uniswap v3 liquidity managers. With the creation of Uniswap v3, we had concentrated liquidity come about, right? And concentrated liquidity means you can take the liquidity that you put out on a market, because at the end of the day, this liquidity is really the lifeblood of these crypto projects, right? You want to create a market for your token so that users in the space can buy that token or sell it and give it value. So in the past, you would usually create liquidity by depositing a mixture of both your community's native asset and whatever it's paired with onto any AMM, a mixture of 50-50, and drop that into a liquidity pool. Now, what that actually did was create both buy and sell pressure on your specific asset by creating this market. And it wouldn't just help, but it would sometimes even hurt your own token and your own community. With Angel Vaults, we took the ability of concentrated liquidity within Uniswap v3 and created basically this liquidity manager that lets LPs be able to deposit and forget about their deposit without having to manage it. But also it aligns that, that simple usage for LPs with the goals of projects in general, which is creating healthy liquidity. And what it does is it enables single-sided asset deposits to be deposited into this Angel Vault. And that Angel Vault creates a strategy for providing liquidity to earn high fees for LPs, but also protect the price and decorrelate the price from a downward market of the protected asset or the project asset. So all of that to say, there's Angel Vaults, which are the sort of exchange product, we could call it, and then we have the branded dollars, which are the stable asset product that we have. Now, bringing all that together and kind of back to your question was, how is all of this actually creating protocol-owned liquidity? So for those who kind of know the Olympus model, it's very basic, right? At the end of the day, you are depositing, you are creating liquidity, you're providing liquidity to a market and getting back LP tokens. You are depositing those LP tokens onto Olympus, and after a week, you get back about 105, 110% of what you deposited originally in the native token. So the project itself, right? Let's call it Ichi, is giving you $100 worth of $110 worth of Ichi for $100 worth of LP token, and that enables Ichi to now own the liquidity that is in the market, so that there is liquidity in the market. The DAO holds it, and it's not going to pull it out of the market, so that there's a lot of liquidity in there. Now, instead of selling your tokens as a project at basically on a sale, right, or for a decreased amount, what you can do is use these branded dollars and Angel Vaults. What you end up doing is creating this market where you deposit a mixture of your actual stable assets or your branded dollars into these angel vaults, and you put a little bit of liquidity of your own token above the price in that same pool. And the angel vault concentrates it there and actually maintains and moves it around as needed, right? Providing liquidity strategies and management. What it enables users and specifically projects to do is create protocol owned liquidity by take profit orders on the actual community token above the price. So if the price rises, that token is actually converted into the stable asset and redeposited into the Angel Vault, making it Angel Vault LP. So that was a long way to say that basically you are converting your token instead of at a discount at the highest price it could be sold in the market, right? At a take profit order into LP that your community holds and owns. Hopefully that was kind of a mouthful, but hopefully that you're able to get that.
Yeah.
And maybe
Oh, that's good.
Ben or Steve could give a clearer or shorter, more concise explanation.
No, I think you covered it well, Daniel. That's a good explanation.
Yeah, it was very thorough and in depth, which we all really appreciate. One thing I totally neglected to mention before we started is if anyone gets annoyed by the pinging noise when people join or leave the channel, there's a streamer mode. You can go into like user settings in Discord, turn that on, and it'll get rid of it. I don't notice it because I have that on. So, yeah. But so I think a lot of my questions pertain like to the DApp itself. So I think if you guys want, we can go ahead and jump into doing a screen share presentation of the protocol.
Yeah, definitely. Do you want me to share my screen, or are you going to share and ask questions on it? What's the easiest?
Oh, yeah, you can go ahead for sure.
Cool. 1 second.
One question I guess I could ask right now is regarding the peg to the dollar, right? So we've seen a lot of stable coins lose their peg, particularly algorithmic stable coins, like the recent death spiral with UST Terra. So I'm wondering how do your branded dollars retain their peg to the dollar? Like what safeguards do you have in place to prevent it losing its peg?
Yeah, so basically our branded dollars are always over collateralized, number one. So they don't rely on the collateralization specifically to hold peg, but rather on arbitrage, right? So we enable a minting and redeeming method. So you can always mint with a mixture of USDC and a community's dollar or community's token, sorry. And you can always redeem for 1 USDC minus a redemption fee, which is around 0.45%. So you're getting about 90, usually almost exactly 1 USDC for redemption. What this does is, at the same time, we also end up going and creating a USDC and branded dollar pool on Uniswap. Now, if the peg starts to fall, right, if it starts to go down underneath $1, people can actually buy that branded dollar and redeem it for $1 within the Ichi system. Now, if the branded dollar goes above $1, they can do the opposite, right? They can mint and they can sell into the market. So this arbitrage opportunity lets people continuously go back and forth, arbitrage it, and keep it pegged to $1 because they have the incentive to. And it looks like my screen is not loading.
Yeah, it's just
Is that the case?
that is the case. We can't see anything.
Maybe Ben or Steve could share it as well. Or let me try one more time, and if not, maybe we'll get one of them to share. And try to lower the resolution maybe. That'll help.
Please stand by while we tackle these technical issues. By the way, guys, if you have any questions for the Ichi Foundation, drop them in the voice chat text channel. It's just 2 channels up from this one, and I'll read them out.
Steve,
Ben,
maybe you could try.
I'm not on a device to share right now.
Got you.
I was just asked if Ben could potentially.
I'm giving it a shot. Mine work?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it looks
I see
super
yours,
clean.
Ben.
Amazing. Wonderful.
That's a sweet graphic, Ben.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah, so this is our app.ichi.org. So if you go to ichi.org and enter the app, this is what will come up. And we can give a little walkthrough, or we can sort of field questions and kind of walk through as we go, whichever way would be most helpful.
Yeah, we'll do a mix. Just walk us through, and if any questions rise up about what we're walking through, I'll bring them out.
Awesome. Sounds great. So this is kind of our homepage. Has an overview of all of kind of our products, our big announcements up at the top. Scroll down, we get some just high-level information of the rest of the app. I'll kind of go through our left-hand menu one by one. So our Mint tab here is for our branded dollars. So as Daniel mentioned, our branded dollars are stable assets worth $1 that are minted using a mix of USDC and a native token. So on this page, you can mint and redeem your branded dollars. So on this page, you can get one 1-inch, which is a branded dollar made for the 1-inch community. This is a minting ratio of, right now it's 100% USDC and 0 1-inch. That will change over time, but here are the current branded dollars that one could mint. So we could go for Fox or Ichi or any various branded dollars on this page. You can mint them here, and you can always redeem them for 1-to-1 USDC at any point. So that's our minting page. Our Angel Vaults page shows the Angel Vaults that Daniel mentioned, which are these concentrated liquidity pools. We right now have 4 that are live on the UI. The Angel Vaults all have a stable coin or branded dollar that a DeFi user could deposit and earn an IRR. Right now, we had just recently relaunched our Angel Vault in the past few months.
Ben, could you actually flip to Polygon?
Oh yeah, I totally will.
See. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, here are our options for Angel Vaults on Polygon. So if you have USDC or 1 BTC, you can deposit those and earn these IRRs, which are basically the yield you would get. Right now, IRR represents the historical yield since the vaults were created. So if you have USDC or 1 BTC, you could go to this page and do a single-sided deposit. So only deposit USDC to this vault and participate in the IRR yields that are generated from concentrated fees. There's also we're doing a liquidity sort of 6-month promotion, an IRR enhancement program, so that users can get even more rewards for depositing to our vaults right now. Our HODL vaults are basically the same as Angel Vaults, but you can deposit a volatile asset. So in this case, you could deposit our wrapped BTC token, again, a single-sided liquidity deposit, and earn IRR here. So before I get any further, if anyone has any questions, on the
Yeah.
Mint page, Angel Vaults, or HODL Vaults, that'd be great.
So the Angel Vaults and the HODL Vaults, what you're essentially doing here, you mentioned Uniswap V3. So are these are depositing trading liquidity on Uniswap V3, and is that where the yield comes from?
Yes, so all of these vaults are basically position managers on Uniswap v3, managing concentrated positions. So the yields are coming from the trading fees generated by concentrated liquidity, as well as the token sort of market changes in the system as well. And then in addition to that, we currently have an IRR enhancement program where we're adding additional rewards to some of these vaults.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really cool. The use of concentrated liquidity is just a really good way for users to earn fees without tokens or projects really having to incentivize their communities. People can earn yield on their favorite tokens, USDC, Wrap Bitcoin, and earn these yields from concentrated liquidity just based on the fact that people are trading these tokens in the world.
Yeah.
Hey, Ben,
Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
I was going to point out, Ben, do you want to click the doc section really quickly just to kind of point folks to the documentation on making deposits into our vaults, just to kind of leave people with that, specific instruction?
Yeah, sure. So what Steve's mentioning is our docs page, which can be found in our bottom left menu of our app, as well as in many places on our Ichi site. Our Ichi docs have lots of information about how to deposit and step-by-step information. We have overviews on all of the vaults. We have our branded dollars, multi-chain, how to bridge from Polygon to Ethereum, various pages. There's also great walkthroughs that Steve has created videos about as well. So I'd recommend jumping into our Ichi docs and just exploring, how to deposit, how to participate in Ichi. Steve, was there a specific page you wanted to show off?
No, that was it. I think that's, because I think it's.
Yeah, you
I
should
think
go. You should go to the deposit guide, which is under the Ichi Vaults
Yep.
page section,
Yep.
and that'll show you exactly how to easily deposit into one of these
Yep.
Angel Vaults or HODL Vaults. Really,
Yep.
super easy and great way to earn yield.
That's right.
And key thing would be, obviously we're here for Polygon, so let's just make sure the network is at the very tip top is split to Polygon if you'd like to participate on assets on Polygon.
Right. All right. Well, I'll do a real quick overview of just the rest of the app here. So after the minting page, Angel Vault, and HODL Vaults page, you can visit our farm, which is right now coming soon. In the past, we have allowed people to get branded dollars and just earn yield directly on having them. So we're expecting that to be launched for Polygon. Our treasury page represents all of the branded dollars that are created on the network. So in this case, one BTC is a branded dollar on Polygon made for the Bitcoin community. And here is a lot of information that shows the collateral and the treasury positions and all of the assets that back this branded dollar to ensure it keeps its peg. It just gives full transparency and really shows how our branded dollars are on chain, and we're just trying to get all the information out there as possible, because sometimes in crypto you don't know all of the information, so we really try to do that here. Our vault metrics.
I'll just say on the treasury page, it's important to note that a lot of this stuff, like we recently launched on Polygon, so a lot of our previous branded dollars and vaults are not natively on there. And on this page, we only show what is native on Polygon. Our hope is to kind of connect with a lot more communities in the Polygon space and build out more branded dollars for them, and basically fill this page with lots of different branded dollars, as well as angel vaults for these communities and their LPs. So that's why it's looking pretty small right now. But yeah, like Ben said, we relaunched about a month ago and are now starting to deep dive into the projects and protocols that we could help build with on Polygon.
Sweet. So, just to like walk through what adding a new branded dollar for a protocol looks like, would it be, they reach out, connect with you, say they're interested in a branded dollar, and then you pass a DAO proposal, and if the DAO votes yes or no on it, then they get the branded dollar. Is that how that works?
Yeah, basically, yeah, that was it. They kind of contact us. We have a factory contract, kind of like Uniswap, where we've already pre-built this contract that has been audited by QuantStamp to create these branded dollars. So every new branded dollar is actually a contract that is pre-audited by QuantStamp. Um, so it's first and foremost safe, right? As safe as it can be. Of course, not every bug can be found or known, but lowers the risk greatly. And it enables us to basically deploy these in, a matter of, hours as opposed to, you know, days or weeks. So we're able to create those pretty quickly once we get a DAO vote. And like you said, um, the teams contact us. We put together a proposal with the other community, and then we take that to our community to vote on it. Usually, depending on if it's a DAO or not on the other side, they may have to vote as well. And then we get this up and running. And that's exactly the same as Angel Vaults, right? On Angel Vaults and HODL Vaults for communities to create those, they come to us, the core team. You could hop in our Discord or go to ichi.org and write to the community proposal page. And basically, we work on creating a proposal with your team to share with both our and your community. And that kind of includes also the governance of these branded dollars, because at the end of the day, these are decentralized and they're held by the community itself. So for each of these branded dollars, they're governed by a multi-sig that is held by a mixture of 2 Ichi members and 4 members of their community, so that anything that happens is really coming from the community itself and enabled for bettering that community.
Good stuff. I want to ask, is there like, so does voting power come from the Ichi token, or is there, are you familiar with V tokens, the voting escrow tokens? Is there something like that? How does the voting power get weighed?
Yeah, so we have something called Ichi Power, which comes directly from using the Ichi token, whether it's staking it into the XIchi contract or providing it as liquidity to exchanges where Ichi is on. So that's how you earn Ichi Power, by actually using the Ichi to better the general community and the project itself.
Gotcha. So whether I provide it as liquidity or stake it for X Ichi, then I will get Ichi power to vote on DAO proposals. So I'm wondering, can we check out the X Ichi staking?
Yeah, sure. Ben, you want to do that on the top right pill?
Yeah, so through our app, it's really easy to turn your Ichi into X Ichi by clicking the amount of Ichi you have. And if I were to connect my wallet, a button would come up and it would say to change it into or swap it into XIchi. We also have 2 Ichi tokens. We have a upgraded Ichi token and a legacy Ichi token. So that's what this button is for here. If you happen to hold the legacy Ichi, you can get the new Ichi token. But yeah, very easy to get our Ichi power for DAO governance voting. So you can, get Ichi, put it into XIchi, and then earn on it as the price of it increases, and then you get the voting power as well.
Fantastic. And then so XECHI, I'm assuming there's like a yield generated on it for when you deposit your Ichi for XECHI.
Yeah, so how XECHI earns in value is that as vault or branded dollars earn concentrated fees or yield across DeFi, a small portion of that goes back to XECHI holders, increasing the ratio of XECHI to Ichi. So when you swap your Ichi into XECHI, you might swap it at a 1-to-1 ratio. You might get one XECHI per one Ichi. But as XECHI holders earn money, income from the various products, that ratio will increase. So then one XECHI might be worth 1.1 Ichi or 2 Ichi. So it's incentive to hold XECHI because it will grow in value over time.
Fantastic. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So there's incentive to use your Ichi in the way that you'll get yield and you'll be able to participate in governance. And then, you're also incentivized to make responsible governance decisions because since you're, currently staking your Ichi in the ecosystem, you don't want to be making poor decisions that would negatively affect the price of Ichi. So yeah, all this makes tons of sense to me. It's pretty phenomenal what you guys have going on. Um, yeah. So you guys have your own bridge as well, or is that connected to it?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. So going into kind of the last 2 pages of our Ichi app, we first have our vault metrics that describes all of the statistics of all of the vaults. So this is all Polygon and Ethereum vaults that are out right now. So if you're interested in the state of the current concentrated liquidity positions, you can check out this page. Again, with the idea of full transparency and people know where their funds are being deployed, that's the idea of this page here. But more importantly is our Polygon bridge. Steve, do you want to walk us through how to sort of bridge your tokens from Polygon to Ethereum, or
Yeah.
how this might look?
Yeah, definitely. So this is, as I mentioned in my introduction, this is a lot of the work that I drove a couple months ago. Do this for me, Ben. Can you flip the Polygon network? Can you flip back to Ethereum briefly?
Sure.
Right. So to answer your question in general, right, what we're doing, we built our own bridge specifically for Ichi tokens. Behind the scenes, we're using the Polygon SDK. So you could do this same exact thing with your Polygon wallet, through the Polygon web apps to leverage their bridge, the Polygon bridge there as well. But behind the scenes in the Ichi app here, we're using that same exact SDK. So we're leveraging the same exact code base to actually do the bridging. Again, the reason why we did this is to create that bidirectional connection to transfer Ichi tokens from Ethereum to Polygon and backwards. So this is one way to bridge, and I'll kind of keep this conversation about our app here for the moment. I do want to talk about other ways to potentially bridge assets to Polygon as well, just so the community's aware. But in general, you basically connect your wallets and you enter an amount to send from Ethereum to Polygon. If you step through it, and actually, we've got some videos on this in our documentation as well that describe it. What we try to do here is be as transparent and as clear as possible, because if anyone's ever bridged assets, there's a lot of steps that happen, right? There's token approvals, there's actual transfer that happens. So we've had to be very clear on that. So when you use the bridge, you essentially punch in the amount you're going to send to Polygon, And then below this, basically like an invoice, like an itemized list will show up that kind of says it's going to cost, $5 to approve your tokens, $20 to send it. So we tried to list everything out so it's very, very clear. And that's sending assets from Ethereum to Polygon. Then if you want to click back or flip the network back to Polygon, I wanted to kind of point out this is a last minute change we had to make. So the bridge so we originally had a similar interface that allowed you to bridge from Polygon back to Ethereum. But through some challenges, we had to revert back to this right here, which is basically sort of a manual link to the actual Polygon bridge itself. And then as our token address, we've had to revert to this due to some UI issues and refactoring issues. So we tried to, for now at least, this is a kind of a placeholder to take this into account. The challenges really is I'd be curious to hear how other members of the Polygon community have dealt with this. The challenges that we faced was really any project will face is waiting for the checkpoint process to occur. If anyone's done that before in Polygon, you'll notice that you have to approve your assets, and those get kind of in layman's terms, they kind of get staged up into a checkpoint process. And once the checkpoint is complete, then you can actually perform the transfer. And that can take, 2 or 3 hours, depending on network traffic and what's going on. So what we had to do for it, as you can see right here, is essentially provide a link to the Polygon bridge directly, as well as our contact address to perform the bridge. So just to be clear on that, you can obviously see it right here. We've tried to kind of point to the specifics to get assets to and from Polygon. And again, this is only for the Ichi token. We didn't want to build a bridge that just allowed you to bridge anything you wanted to. This is only to support the bridging of Ichi tokens through this. So does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah,
Or hope that
absolutely.
makes sense.
Thank you for explaining that. So where are you currently at in your? How long has Ichi been around for? When did you first launch?
Daniel, why don't you cover that? I know you've been around for a while.
Yeah. So Ichi launched around November 2020. Actually, interesting story. It launched with this something called a bumper crop farming game that was focused on kind of trying to create a fair distribution of the tokens. So the team didn't get any tokens off the start. But what actually happened was there was a fair distribution that was a fair launch and fair distribution that was done through this game that enabled you to earn a bunch of Ichi tokens per block by guessing certain numbers of by basically putting money down, right, and contributing it to this sort of pot. And based on your ranking of the amount you contributed, you get a serial number. And that serial number, if it was if it was able to match the actual number of the block that was mined in that transaction, then you earned some Ichi. Sounds a little complicated, but was kind of a fun guessing game that ran for, I think, like 48 hours, during which a lot of the Ichi tokens were distributed. And then right after that, we launched kind of the branded dollars. And then down the line, the Angel Vaults came out about a year later, around November 2021.
Sweet. That's a pretty exciting way to kick things off. So I see a lot of really interesting potential use cases for this. I mean, you already got the yield farming going on, and then there's like, you could use stuff for lending and borrowing. What potential use cases are you most excited about for Ichi, or are there any upcoming features or implementations that you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, we're just super excited to launch on Polygon, right? Like I said, this is a way to, do decentralized market making for your project. So we want to enable, healthy liquidity and grow the DeFi community on Polygon. So that means helping different communities create angel vaults so that they have that healthy liquidity in the market. That's not just selling their tokens, and branded dollars as well as they see fit. So really focused on that, and kind of I guess just spreading across the Polygon ecosystem. And then, from a features perspective, we're always building and always, enabling our users to have a better experience. We're really focused on how we can enable users to have the most capital efficient usage of their funds with single-sided asset deposits like we have today, but making that even better. I don't want to say too much more than that, but what I can say is that we are super focused on, one, enabling users and communities to align their incentives, and two, making DeFi a lot easier to use. So always working on user experience of our app and always coming out with additional use cases. So more on that to come, but that's kind of where we're at right now.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely I can see a lot happening with this. A lot of great things. Um, One thing that I've noticed on your webpage that I've been kind of curious about is what is the ally ticker there in the bottom left? Also, guys,
And you want to?
if any of you guys have
Oh,
any questions, drop them in the voice chat text channel, please. Do so because we are starting to run a little short on time here. So if you have questions, I want to make sure that these guys get the chance to answer them for you.
yeah. So the ally token is actually an Ichi vesting token, right? Um, Due to a recent uh, kind of market volatility issue that led to cascading liquidations on Fuse. That's Ferrari Capital's Fuse pools. We created this ally token to enable users to earn back a lot of Ichi that was locked into that contract through this vesting bond. So that's what the ally token is. At the moment, it's not traded on the open market yet, but that may be something that will happen in the future. Don't want to say more than that.
I can't reveal too much alpha all at once. um. Okay. Well. Are there any key partnerships that are you're most excited about, or any like key partnerships right now that you want to talk about?
Yeah, so we've launched with Credo, who's a great community. We are working towards closing up a few additional partners, one of them being the Giveth community. Um, if you've heard about that project, they're focused on, finding charities and donating certain amounts of money towards different charities across the world through crypto. So they're really great. They're actually about to enable the one Giveth token and the Giveth Angel Vault. And then we have a few more in the pipeline. Again, until those are shared with their communities, I would rather not talk too much about them. But yeah, past that, we also have the Fuse team, who we've been working with for a long time. They're a mobile payments app and actually their own L1. So we've been working with them for a long time, and we're able to have their branded dollar, the one Fuse token, as well as the Fuse Angel Vault.
I'll add one more kind of thought to that too. I know Daniel's speaking a lot about strategic partnerships now. Maybe the food for thought I'd like to leave with the Polygon community would be where would other ideas or food for thought? So, like as an example, as the Polygon community is kind of brainstorming and we're thinking up new ideas, like I think where Ichi could be a good partner with projects in Polygon would be like as Ben showed a second ago, establishing angel vaults and hodl vaults for specific projects, but even with Polygon themselves, like just to kind of leave you guys with an idea, is on Polygon. I think one of the things that Ichi can help provide is deeper liquidity pools within our hodl vaults and angel vaults to help establish the Matic token as a good utility token, obviously on the Polygon ecosystem. So that's kind of again, just food for thought. It's much deeper conversations, but for me personally, that's what excites me is how can we work with projects or Polygon directly to figure out more vaults in the future to have a Matic token pair that allows us to establish deeper liquidity to promote the Matic token as a good solid utility token across the network. Does that make sense? And do you agree with that? Does anybody else agree with that?
Oh, I think that would be a really cool and exciting implementation of the branded dollar and angel vaults. I mean, I would certainly enjoy seeing that. So,
Yeah, I like that idea. I mean, at the end of the day, right, what it would enable Matic to really do is be kind of this underlying base asset on Uniswap v3, right? Enabling users to hold and earn on their Matic tokens, and actually enabling Matic to have, or Polygon to have a bunch of Matic be used in liquidity pools, growing their DeFi ecosystem. So it's a I'd say, pretty big win for Polygon.
yeah, I got to be kind of like careful what I say because obviously I can't like speak for the decision making team of Polygon, but I totally agree with you there. I think it would be a pretty big win and pretty cool to see. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
totally get that. But hey,
Yeah, yeah.
put us in touch with the decision making team, and we can explain to them exactly how great it would be.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, so I'm basically out of questions. You guys have done a phenomenal job of explaining everything. You guys answered a lot of questions that I had without me even having to ask them. It's been a fantastic presentation. Um, so if anyone else has any questions that they want to ask, please don't hesitate to ask them. We are about to wrap things up shortly, so I want to make sure if you have questions to get them in quick.
I just wanted to jump in again and just say thank you for hosting us. And you've had great questions and just truly enjoyed being here.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. It was really exciting learning about your platform, and I think it'd be awesome to catch up, do this again, and see where you're at later down the line and share all the new features and implementations that come out.
Yeah, I'd love to again. Sounds good, though. Sounds good.
Yep, thanks, everyone.
All right. Well, if no one else has any questions, I'm gonna go ahead and I just dropped some links in the voice chat text channel. So you got the website, the Discord, Twitter, and Telegram. So if you want to follow up with the Ichi Foundation after this, you know where to do so. And with that being said, it was fantastic meeting all of you. Thank you so much again for coming out. And I think we're good to wrap things up here. Anything else you guys want to mention? All right.
Cool.
Thanks so much. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Cheers, guys. Thanks again.